Your dog is probably asleep right now, or maybe they were just an hour ago. But the way they sleep, that position they picked so carefully, the exact way they curled up, stretched out, or pressed against your side, none of that is random. Your dog's sleeping position is quietly revealing how safe they feel, who they trust most, and what's happening inside their mind without ever saying a single word. Most people look at a sleeping dog and just think it looks cute, but after this video, you're going to see it completely differently. Welcome to Woof Daily. Subscribe right now because this channel dives deep into the hidden things dogs have been trying to tell us the whole time. Let's start with the most common sleeping position of all, the donut. Curled up tight, nose tucked near the tail, paws folded underneath the body like they're trying to make themselves smaller. Most owners assume this only means their dog is cold. And sure, sometimes that's part of it, but the real reason goes way deeper than temperature. This position is ancient. Dogs have been sleeping like this for thousands of years, and wolves still do it in the wild today. When a dog curls into that tight little ball, they're protecting the most vulnerable parts of their body, especially the belly and vital organs. For their ancestors, leaving those areas exposed could be dangerous. That instinct never disappeared. It's built deep into their brain, and the second a dog feels the need to guard themselves even a little, this position can show up automatically. Now here's where people completely misunderstand this sleep style. A curled-up dog is not automatically nervous or unhappy. That's the myth. In reality, many dogs sleep in the donut position because it helps them feel calm, secure, and comfortable in their own space. It's less about fear and more about instinct, self-protection, and feeling settled. And if you want to understand even more of the hidden signals your dog uses every day, I made a visual guide called The Dog Body Language Decoder. It breaks down 27 emotional behaviors most owners completely misunderstand. The link is in the description. Some dogs even look extra peaceful sleeping this way, like they've completely checked out from the world for a few hours. And honestly, once you notice how often your dog chooses this position, you start realizing they've been communicating with you the whole time without making a sound. Dogs that sleep curled up like that over and over usually have a very balanced personality. They're adaptable. They can relax whether you're home or away. That doesn't mean they don't love you. It actually means they feel secure enough not to panic every second you're gone. That's confidence, not distance. Now let's talk about the position that makes everybody laugh. The crazy legs, flat on their back, paws sticking into the air, belly completely exposed like they pay the bills in the house. It looks hilarious, but this might actually be the biggest sign of trust your dog can possibly show you. Seriously, think about what's happening here. Your dog's stomach is fully exposed. No protection, no defense, no attempt to stay guarded. In the wild, animals do not casually sleep like this unless their brain has fully decided the environment is safe, not probably safe, completely safe. A dog sleeping belly up has mentally switched off alert mode. They're not preparing to react. They're not waiting for danger. They're not staying half awake, listening for movement. Their brain checked the environment, checked the people around them, and basically said, "Yeah, we're good here." That's huge. Dogs who sleep like this tend to feel extremely comfortable in their home, deeply settled, deeply trusting. What looks goofy on the surface is actually your dog showing maximum vulnerability in the clearest way possible. And here's the part most owners never notice. If your dog used to always sleep curled up tight, but slowly started sleeping on their back more often over time, that usually means something improved in their world. Maybe they trust the house more. Maybe they trust you more. Maybe for the first time in a long time, their nervous system finally relaxed. That position isn't just funny, it's emotional information hiding in plain sight. Maybe the house became calmer, maybe a loud stressor disappeared, maybe something about your energy changed and your dog finally felt it. That's the part most people miss. The sleeping position follows the feeling. When the emotional environment changes, the body changes with it. Now let's talk about the side sleeper. One side pressed against the floor, legs stretched out loosely, body completely relaxed like every ounce of tension just disappeared. This position matters way more than people realize. When a dog sleeps on their side, the muscles fully let go. There's no tight curl protecting the stomach, no ready-to-move posture, no guarded body language, just total release. And here's why that's important. This is the position most connected to true, deep sleep. You know when your dog starts twitching, softly kicking their paws, maybe making tiny sounds while they sleep? That's REM sleep. Their brain replaying moments from the day, processing emotions, restoring energy, and resetting the nervous system. But here's the wild part. REM sleep cannot happen properly unless the brain stops monitoring for danger. Literally, a dog cannot fully dream while staying alert at the same time. The nervous system has to trust the environment enough to power down for a while. So when your dog is stretched out on their side, completely lost in sleep, they're showing an insane level of comfort and emotional security inside that home. And honestly, if your dog rarely sleeps this way, it's worth noticing. It doesn't automatically mean something is wrong, but it can sometimes mean they're not reaching the deepest stages of rest very often. And that affects everything: mood, patience, energy levels, behavior, even how connected they feel with you during the day. Dogs who regularly sleep stretched out on their side usually feel settled in life overall, not just physically comfortable in the room. There's a difference. Now here comes the position every puppy seems obsessed with: the Superman pose. Belly flat against the floor, front legs stretched forward, back legs kicked straight out behind like they just crash-landed mid-zoomies. You've definitely seen this one before, usually seconds before absolute chaos starts again. Now this part is important because the Superman position looks relaxed, but technically it's not true deep rest. When a dog is laying flat on their belly with their legs stretched out behind them, they can jump back onto their feet almost instantly. The body is resting, but the brain is still halfway in motion. This is what behavior experts sometimes call a ready position. Your dog paused for a second, but they didn't fully let go. That's why you see this pose so much in puppies and high-energy dogs. Their brain is constantly fighting between "I'm tired" and "I don't want the fun to stop yet." The Superman pose is basically the compromise. Fine, I'll rest for a minute, but I'm staying ready in case something exciting happens. And honestly, if your dog sleeps like this most of the time, it can sometimes mean they need more physical or mental stimulation during the day. More walks, more games, more sniffing, more engagement. Once dogs burn energy in a healthier way, you'll often notice them naturally shifting into deeper, more relaxed sleeping positions later on. Now, the next few sleeping habits are where this gets personal, because these positions involve you directly. And the last one especially, most owners completely misunderstand it. So stay with me. Let's talk about dogs who sleep touching you, pressed against your legs, curled into your back, laying shoulder to shoulder on the couch like they physically need contact to relax. That's not random either. A lot of people assume dogs only do this because you're warm. But think about it for a second. Your dog has options: the floor, their bed, the opposite side of the couch, another room entirely. But out of every place available, they chose you. That choice says everything. When your dog sleeps pressed against your body, their brain releases a powerful bonding chemical called oxytocin. Scientists use that name, but honestly, most people would just call it love with science behind it. This same bonding response forms extremely early in a dog's life. Puppies naturally sleep piled together beside their mother and litter mates because closeness equals safety, comfort, and protection. Their brain learns that physical contact means everything is okay. And the crazy part? That emotional connection never fully disappears. Even years later, a dog pressing themselves against you while they sleep is still carrying part of that instinct with them. They're not just resting near you, they're calming their nervous system with your presence. That feeling of safety eventually transfers completely onto you. And this is the part most dog owners never fully realize. You are not just nearby while your dog rests. You are the reason the rest feels possible in the first place. That's why changes in sleeping distance actually matter. If your dog used to sleep pressed tightly against you but slowly started choosing farther spots over time, it's worth paying attention to. Sometimes the emotional distance shows up in sleep habits before it shows up anywhere else. Dogs communicate through patterns long before they communicate through obvious behavior. Dogs who constantly sleep touching their owner are usually the deeply bonded ones, the super attached ones, the dogs who notice every mood shift, every routine change, every little emotion you try to hide. They stay tuned into you all day, and when it's finally time to relax, they still want contact. Maybe it's their head on your foot, maybe their body against your leg, maybe they wedge themselves against your side like they're trying to become part of the furniture. Small gestures, but emotionally, they're massive. And then there's the head resting. This one hits differently. Your dog's nose is the strongest sense they have. It's how they understand the world. Smell is connected to memory, emotion, comfort, recognition, everything. Humans rely on sight first. Dogs rely on scent first. That's their emotional map of reality. So when your dog lays their head on your lap, your feet, or any part of your body while falling asleep, they're doing something incredibly personal. They're placing the most sensitive and important part of themselves beside the person they trust most. And no, they're not always asking for pets or attention either. A lot of the time, they simply want your scent around them while they relax. Not the room, not the blanket, not the couch, you specifically. That's huge. Your scent slows their nervous system down. It makes them feel grounded, familiar, safe, loved. To a dog, your smell is basically emotional security in physical form. Now here comes the sleeping position most owners completely misunderstand. The dog facing away from you in bed. You know the feeling. Your dog jumps onto the bed, settles down beside you, and then turns their back toward you completely, nose facing the wall, the doorway, or somewhere else in the room. And for a second, it almost feels personal, like they picked the room over you. But the truth is actually the complete opposite. In dog body language, exposing the backside of the body is a massive act of trust. When a dog turns their back towards someone, they're saying, "I know you won't hurt me. I trust you enough not to monitor you. I trust you enough to leave my blind side exposed." That is not distance. That is emotional security at the highest level your dog knows how to show. When your dog sleeps facing away from you, they are not rejecting you at all. In many cases, they're actually doing the opposite. They're positioning themselves toward the room, the doorway, the movement, the sounds, while keeping their back pressed near the one thing they trust completely, you. That means something powerful. And if you want to understand even more of the hidden signals your dog uses every day, I made a visual guide called the Dog Body Language Decoder. It breaks down 27 emotional behaviors most owners completely misunderstand. The link is in the description. Your dog already decided you are the safe side, the side that doesn't need monitoring, the side their brain no longer worries about. So instead of watching you, they turn toward everything else. Think about how deep that trust really is. They didn't turn away because they feel distant. They turn toward potential movement while staying connected to the person they feel safest beside. In dog language, that's loyalty. That's comfort. That's your dog quietly standing guard while still making sure they stay close to you. And honestly, once you understand that, you'll never look at that sleeping position the same way again. But there's one final thing almost nobody pays attention to. And it's one of the quietest emotional signs dogs give: movement during sleep. A dog that constantly shifts positions, resettles, gets up, circles again, or keeps waking through the night usually isn't reaching the same level of deep rest as a dog that fully settles and stays still for long stretches. Every time the body moves, something interrupted the nervous system from fully relaxing. Maybe it was a sound, maybe discomfort, maybe low-level alertness that never fully shut off. Sometimes it can simply mean the dog hasn't completely decided the environment is safe enough to totally let go yet. Most owners never notice this because the movements seem normal, but once you start watching closely, you realize sleep patterns reveal emotional information constantly, A dog that settles deeply into one position and barely moves through the night has usually made a full mental decision. The room feels safe. The environment feels predictable. The people nearby pass the test. That's a huge emotional signal hiding inside something that looks ordinary. So the next time your dog falls asleep, pause for a second and really look at them. Notice where they chose to sleep. Notice who they chose to sleep beside. Notice whether their body stayed guarded or finally relaxed. Because your dog has been communicating with you this entire time without saying a word. And now you actually understand the language. Which sleeping position does your dog use the most? Drop it in the comments because we seriously read every single one. And if this video changed the way you see your dog, send it to another dog owner who needs to hear this too. And if you want to understand even more of the hidden signals your dog uses every day, I made a visual guide called the Dog Body Language Decoder. It breaks down 27 emotional behaviors most owners completely misunderstand. The link is in the description. Subscribe to Woof Daily for more videos like this. Every week, we break down the hidden language dogs have been using around us all along.